everyone, how's it going? My name's Eric, and on this episode of Smo'King, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious double smoked ham with a pineapple bourbon glaze. I have to give credit where credit is due. I got this recipe from Shane Draper from Gorilla Grills. I'll leave a link below if you want to check out some of his videos. But this is a super easy recipe to impress your friends, your relatives around the holiday season, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. Super easy to do. Why is it so simple? Because the ham's already cooked. You're just going to go to the grocery store, you're going to buy a fully cooked smoked ham. I got a spiral cut Farmer John ham that's already cooked, already smoked. All we're going to do is bring it up to temperature, but instead of cooking it in an oven where we risk drying it out, we're going to cook it long and slow in the smoker with some cherry wood chips, give it that extra level of smoke flavoring that everyone seems to love. And then I'm going to show you in the last hour how to make a delicious pineapple bourbon glaze to coat over this ham for that last hour to let all those delicious flavors seep into that ham, and everyone's going to be so impressed. So let me show you how to do this step by step. Let's get cooking. So the first thing you want to do is take it out of the package and rinse it off really good under cold water. Remove some of that salt that's been sticking in the packaging. And if you got a rack that you can kind of dry it out, even better. Now how we're going to cook this in the smoker is we're going to put the ham part down like this. So the pointed part is standing straight up. And we're not going to actually make the actual glaze that we're going to coat on this to the last hour of the cooking process. We're going to cook this in the smoker 225 to 240 in that temperature range, probably 4 to 6 hours. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take to get up to temperature. This is already fully cooked, but we want to make sure it's warm completely through the ham. I'm going to put a temperature gauge in there. I'm going to try to get it up to 130, 135, and once it hits that temperature, that's when I'll start applying the glaze. In the meantime, I took a mixture in a little spray bottle. I'm going to periodically, every half hour, 45 minutes, spray it just to keep it moist while it's smoking, as well as making sure you got some nice warm water in the smoker as well to keep that wet, humid environment that we want. I have 3/4 orange juice. You can use apple juice, pineapple juice, just some kind of fruity, sweet juice. And then 1/4 of your favorite bourbon whiskey. So I already have this made up in here to spray. Now, most of these hams you buy, the spiral cuts, already come with a little, ham glaze packet. But when you sit here and read the ingredients, dextrose, modified food starch, potassium sorbate, sodium benzate, a preservative, some kind of gum, I don't know what this is. You know what? I'm just going to throw it out. I'm going to make my own glaze. It's going to be 10 times better than that. So let me go outside. I'm going to fire up my Smoke Hollow smoker, try to regulate the temperature, like I said, maybe around 225, 230, and I'll show you the next step. I'll meet you outside when we put it in there and get this smoking. Alright guys, I just got it in there. I put a temperature probe in the very top, in the center, all the way down. It's reading 43. I got the timer set at 135. We're going to go ahead and start the timer so I can just keep track of how long this is going to go. Now I filled the bottom water tray here with water, and I just put in 2 trays of wood chip. I only got one side going right now because I don't want it to get too hot, so it's probably going to be hovering right around 225. And I got a tray of water underneath the ham as well, because especially when we put the glaze on later, it's going to be a lot of sugary dripping mess, so you definitely want to put a tray underneath the ham. And then here's my little orange juice whiskey spray that I'm going to spray on there now just to keep it wet, and we're pretty much done. Now we just have to wait. I will come back every 45 minutes or an hour just to keep track of it, make sure the temperature is maintaining, and give it a little spray if it looks like it's drying out. Looks like a light smoke is starting to come out. Light blue smoke. It'll get a little bit more as this heats up. But yeah, that's the hardest part now. Now we have to wait. So again, we're going for 135. It's 43 degrees. The oven temp right now is 169 and climbing, just because I had the door open. So we'll be back in a little bit just to check on it, maybe 20 minutes, half hour, just so you guys can see what's going on. We'll see you in a little bit. Alright, it's been just around 18 minutes. We're at 220 in the oven, 43 degrees. I just wanted to give you a quick look here. We got some definite cherry smoke. I could definitely smell it. It's perfect. Nice blue, clean smoke. Not overpowering. We're just going to bring this up to temperature. Let's take a quick look inside. I know I should be opening the door, but I just want you guys to take a look at it. Wish you could be here to smell it. So it's looking good. You know what? Let me spray it real quick again. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't hurt. Well, as you can see, 58 minutes, 58 seconds. We're just at around the hour mark. 240 is what the smoker's at, and we got a ways to go up to 135. You can see it's only 48 degrees. So you can see it's got a light smoke coming out right now, which is perfect. I think it's time to spritz it again. Let's take a look and see how it looks like at the hour mark. Looking good. You want to keep spraying it, keep it moist. Getting a little bit dark here. And as you can see, as it starts to warm up, you'll also notice the slices are becoming more apparent and they're starting to separate a little bit. That's fine. We just want to make sure we don't dry it out or overcook it. Once we hit 135, that's when we're going to start applying our Pineapple Bourbon Glaze. So that's it. We got several more hours to go. So we'll be back in a few hours. I think I'm about ready to go have a beer. I'll see you guys in a little bit. So you know what time it is. Time to try a new beer. This one caught my attention for a couple reasons. Mainly the colorful label here. Indica IPA. It's an Indian Pale Ale. 6.5% alcohol. Brewed and bottled by Lost Coast Brewery and Cafe, Eureka, California. So, boy oh boy. Part of the fun is cooking is, for me, is always trying to find a different beer for everything I cook. So, I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I enjoy drinking them. And maybe you find something that you think you could like, give it a shot. Okay, well, this isn't as dark as I thought it was going to be. The bottle's so dark. So that probably made me think that, but it's actually pretty dark. Once it starts to settle, it's a nice amber color. Cheers, guys. Thanks again for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Okay, smells. I smell citrus and a light malt and maybe a little bit of pine. Cheers again. Definitely hoppy. A little kind of like a citrusy lemon aftertaste. And a little bit of malt. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, it's a little piney too at the end. It's a medium body. And it's got a little bit of a dry finish, but it's very good. It's not overpowering. It's a good combination. It's not too bitter. It's not too tart. It seems to find a pretty good balance. Wow, I never even heard of this. Lost Coast Brewery and Cafe, Eureka, California. Hey man, I really like it. I'm gonna check out their website, see if they make some other beers maybe I can get my hands on, but this is pretty good. I'm impressed. Well, I'm going to enjoy this. It's been 2 hours and 24 minutes. I've been going out there 3 or 4 times, spritzing it. It's taken a little bit longer than I expected. Maybe because it's a 10-pound ham. And that probe's like right down. I put it in the top, right down in the center. It's only reading 73 degrees, and it's exactly at 240, the smoker. So it's like I said, 225 to 240 is where I want it. So, you know what? I'll just let it go. That's what you got to cook to time, or cook to temperature, not time. So if it takes any longer, just kick back, relax, have a beer, don't sweat it. So I'm going to do exactly that. We'll be back in a little bit when we're getting closer to apply that glaze. See you in a little bit. Alright, let me show you how to make this glaze. It's not really complicated. We just need a handful of ingredients. Now the first thing we need is some marmalade or preserves, preferably pineapple, and we want to get an 18-ounce jar. Now I couldn't find an 18-ounce jar. I found a 10-ounce jar, and it's actually pineapple and mango. And this was from imported from France. It looks pretty good. It says no added sugar. So I'm using this, but I'm still 8 ounces short because it's only a 10 ounce and I'm looking for an 18-ounce can. So what I'm doing to improvise is I got a 8-ounce can of pineapple tidbits, just pieces of pineapple and some pineapple juice. And since I wanted to have it more like a liquid, I put it in the mini food processor here and made it into kind of a little puree. So I'm going to stick that in there first. So that's one 8-ounce package of pineapples that's been blended, tidbits, or you can use an 18-ounce jar of preserves. Now I know pineapple preserves are hard to find, so you can do some substitutions here. You can do apricot, mango, or orange, but pineapple seems to go best with ham. You know what? I'm going to break for a second so I get a long spoon because this isn't coming out. I'll be back in 1 second. Alright, welcome back, guys. Just had to get a nice long spoon, scoop this out. This stuff smells very, very good. Pineapple and mango. So like I said, if you can't find a pineapple preserves or marmalade, go for apricot, mango, or orange. All of it will work. Next, we want to add 1/3 cup of molasses, dark molasses. Now this is going to add that nice dark coloring that we're looking for on this ham. So 1/3 cup, and I'm going to put all the exact measurements down in the video description below, so don't feel like you have to get a pen right now. 1/3 cup of molasses. We're going to do 1 cup of honey. This is already looking good. Now, as far as bourbon, you don't have to use bourbon. I like the flavor of bourbon, and we're going to be cooking this for 20 minutes to 25 minutes at a low simmer on the stove. So all the alcohol is going to burn out, but the bourbon does give it a nice flavor, in my opinion. So use your favorite whiskey or bourbon, whatever you like. So that's 1 cup of honey. And now I use a full cup of bourbon. You don't have to go. You can do a half. You can do 3/4. I'm going to go for the gusto because I like the flavor profile of bourbon. For me personally. And like I said, it all burns off. Next, we're going to add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. There we go. And then last but not least, this is optional, I should say not last but not least, a 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves. Some people don't like cloves, so use this sparingly, but with all this sweetness, you need a little something, I think, to kind of break it up. And then the final ingredient, we're going to get 2 tablespoons of Dijon mustard. You don't have to use Dijon. You could use like stone ground mustard. Oops. Close enough. And that's it. We're going to stir it real well here. And then I'm going to put it on, like I said, low heat. We're going to bring this up to a light simmer and turn the heat down. And we're just going to keep on simmering this for 20-25 minutes until it gets reduced about by half. And then we're going to cool it down a little bit. And as it cools, it'll thicken. And then we're going to apply that to the ham here. So that's it. Not too complicated. I'll continue stirring this. I'll get it over on the stove, heat it up. We'll be back in 1 second. Alright, here we are. It's been simmering for around 10 minutes now. It's still got a little way to go, but it's definitely thickening up. I added a little bit of black pepper just to give it a little bit of spice kick. And it, taste it as you go along and add whatever you feel is necessary. If you think it needs a little more honey, a little bit more brown sugar, what have you. But just keep cooking it until it kind of reduces, gets real thick as it kind of cools too. When you're getting ready to put it on, you can turn it off for a few minutes and it should thicken right up. So I'm going to continue cooking this. We'll be back in 1 second. Alright, it's been just over 4 hours here. Whoops, let's get that light back on. 4 hours and 5 minutes. The ham is at 101. I cranked up the second burner. I had one on, a full blast, one off. I turned one on low just to kick it up. The heat's 298. I think we're okay the last few minutes. Just to kind of speed this up. My dog's going crazy over something. But it's so dark. I hate this time change. It happened last weekend, man. I can't see anything. Hopefully you guys can, because I got a flashlight. So let's see here. Ooh, it's looking good. You can definitely tell it's taking on some smoke. I'm going to spray it one last time, the last final time, before we apply that glaze. Glaze is inside on a low simmer. And yeah, whew. Man, it's looking good. Alright guys, I pulled it out. Now we're going to apply some glaze. I just pulled it inside because it was so dark outside. And you know, you wouldn't have seen it. So I just pulled it in for a second. Smoker's still going. I'll return it in a minute. I just wanted to put this glaze on it. Now we're going to apply it 3 or 4 times over the next hour till we get it up to temperature. We're shooting for around 140 degrees. We don't want to dry it out, so we don't want to go over that. Oh man, this looks absolutely wonderful. I'm just going to pour a little bit on top. Get some of that juice. There we go. I'm going to throw this back in the smoker. We'll be back in a second. Just want to do a close shot before I put it back in the smoker. Man, this looks so good. And this glaze, man, just wonderful. You can see it's starting to separate a little bit here where these spiral slices are, but not too much. Just means it's cooking. So this is just about done. Back on the smoker. We'll be back in a minute. Alright, here we go. Fresh out. Man, hit temperature. Look at how delicious. It's a little crispy on top. But you know what? That's to be expected. This little caramelization where that heat hits. Let's see here. I'm going to cut a couple of slices here. Oh. Look at this. Okay, let's see. There you go. Look at that. Oh man, absolutely delicious. So I gotta try a piece. Excuse me. While I rip a little bit off. Give me a second. Oh my goodness. Wow. That glaze is unbelievably good. Oh my goodness. It's nice and caramelized on the outside edge. Wow. That is so good. Look, you guys can do this with any kind of ham, any pre-cooked ham. Whether it's like this one, spiral slice, which makes it a little easier when you come time to serve it, or even a regular ham. Just follow the recipe exactly. You're going to have a delicious result. And it's super, super easy, as you guys already seen. Wow. Well, guys, as always, I thank you for watching my channel. Please feel free to leave your comments. Tell me what you think. Give me suggestions, tips, hints, whatever you'd like. And if you like what you see, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.